What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we are back with what will their stats be in ESports Boxing Club. And today we are doing the heavyweight king Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. Now, I've had quite a few requests from him, as well as obviously, as I always say, his other fighters, Roy Jones. We've done Shakur last time, we've done Canelo, Wilder, Loma, Terence Crawford. And yeah, so far, I genuinely have a lot of fun. The views for the series has gone down slightly, but I always have so much fun making them, so I'm just going to keep making them. Also, because I'm kind of slightly interested to when the game drops, how far right or wrong I was with these fighters, to be honest with you. So that I'm trying to do as much of the roster as possible without making the series boring. But yeah, so without further ado, guys, Tyson Fury. Let's just jump into it. As of right now, Tyson Fury is 31-0. With 22 KOs and 1 draw, which in my opinion, and in most people's opinion, he should not have had that draw. He should have had that win. So he's 31-0, 22 KOs, standing at 6'9". I mean, that is just fucking insane. I mean, he's a big motherfucker as well. And the current WBC champion of the world. Recently come off 2 back-to-back wins over Deontay Wilder. And he's only, I think, 6 fights back from an incredibly long layoff of his career. But without further ado, guys, we're going to talk about current Fury right now. I believe this is probably prime Fury that we're seeing right now, 33, 34 years of age. So yeah, without further ado, guys, let's jump into it. Sorry, one more break. Don't forget to let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, let me know. And yeah, we can talk about it. So yeah, let's jump into it. So by now, we're all familiar with this screen, the Boxer Creator screen that show all of the stats in these 6 sections that are vitality, stamina, speed, defense, strength, and heart, and then a total overall. This was shown all the way back in July, I believe. Now, it's been a long time since this was actually originally shown. So yeah, let's jump into Tyson Fury's stats. So we start with vitality, which is head health, body health, health regeneration, health recovery, and injury resistance. Now, Fury is no stranger to being dropped, let's be honest. Not even in the Wilder trilogy. He has been dropped before that, and I'm sure he will be dropped after that. But even if we're just talking most recently, even winning fights that look pretty dominant, he's still prone to being dropped. However, he always gets back up. So I think we have to take that into consideration. As far as we have seen, body shots have never phased him. The Dillian White fight, if that goes ahead, will answer a lot of those questions, on how well he can handle those body shots. We also have to take into consideration that head health is here in vitality, but also you've got chin resistance over in defense. And for me, chin resistance and body resistance are where the drops come from. Head health and body health are the total health they will have before being put out cold. So for head health for Tyson Fury, I'm going to go with a 95. And for his body health, I'm going to go with a 98. And overall health, I'm going to meet him in the middle and go with a 97. Then we have health regeneration and health recovery. As I always say, guys, regeneration, more of a video game stat. Recovery, more of a real life stat. So regeneration would be obviously, he gets hurt, how much of his health recovers in the fight, in between rounds, things like that. Same as recovery. Recovery is how much health he'll recover and then how much health he'll regenerate. So for health regeneration, I'm going to go over 92. And for recovery, I'm going to go over 93. Because we've seen Tyson Fury get dropped over and over again, but he's always back up, he's always looking good, he's always back boxing strong. And then the last one we have in vitality is injury resistance. Now, of course, we saw Fury have his face viciously busted open. Of course, we could put that over to cut resistance, and we could focus more injury resistance on injuries of the arm, injury of the leg, injury of the hand, things like that. So I think for injury resistance, just to kind of put all injuries in one from, injuries of the entire body, I'm going to go over 90 for injury resistance. Then we go on to stamina, which consists of stamina regeneration, stamina recovery, conditioning, and endurance. Now, Tyson Fury has gone the 12 rounds. He can go the distance. He is a tough dude. He went through hell and war in the Wilder fight, and he still looked good. Always looks fresh. Obviously, yes, you get tired. You're a big man. He's no small guy. But I think his stamina's got to be high, guys, in all honesty. So for his stamina, I'm going to put that at a 95. Actually, I'm going to be a little bit cruel, because one thing we noticed a lot in the Wilder fight is he used his weight a lot to just lean on Wilder. Now, if he goes into a fight against someone like Usyk, who's moving around all the time, how's he going to fare against that? It'll be interesting. So I'm going to go with a 92 for stamina. And then stamina regeneration and recovery. He always looks good coming out the starting gate at the start of each round. So for these, for regeneration, I'm going to go over 90. And for recovery, I'm going to go over 93. And then we go on to conditioning and endurance. Now, you know, he can go the distance. He can take the punishment. He can go through whatever. You know, he takes the punishment, gets back up, and carries on fighting at a high pace. So for conditioning, I'm going to put that at a 93. And for endurance, I'm going to put that at a 95. And then we go on to speed, which consists of agility, move speed, punch speed, and accuracy. Now, of course, he is a heavyweight, and I like to do it per weight class. I'm not going to compare his agility to Lomachenko's agility, of course. But compared to the others in the heavyweight, that was a weird way to say others. Compared to the others in the heavyweight division, he's quite an agile guy. He's quite a quick guy. So I think we need to take that into consideration. So for agility, I'm going to go, 6'9". He is agile for his size, but that's one thing that people always say. He's agile for his size. He's quick for his size. He's not agile in the grand scheme of things compared to Usyk, for example, who only stands at like 6'2", 6'3", but he is quite an agile guy. So for agility, I'm going to go with an 88. For move speed, he's pretty quick. He's a pretty quick guy. I'm going to go with a 90 for his move speed. And then for his punch speed, he's quick. He snaps out that jab quick. He can put combinations together fast for a heavyweight, and just generally really fast compared to pretty much all other heavyweights. I would say he's one of the fastest handed heavyweights there is, especially for putting combinations together and still putting a bit of power behind it. So for punch speed, I'm going to go with a 91. 92, actually. I'm going to go with 92. And then for accuracy, as I always say, guys, boxers only tend to land between 40 to 60% of their punches per round and per fight. So it'd be unfair to actually give people their stats based on the shots they land throughout a real fight, because that would rely too much on RNG. So for, Fury's accuracy, he likes to set up a lot of his jabs. His jabs do tend to land on the head, the guard, or the body quite a lot. He doesn't whiff humongously bad shots. I know there's always that thing of where he uppercutted and he uppercutted himself in the face, which is, I know, awful, but his accuracy as a fighter isn't bad at all. So I'm going to put his accuracy at a 89. Then we go on to defense, which is chin resistance, body resistance, cut resistance, bruise resistance, and blocking. Now, chin resistance, this is where I would say it starts taking into consideration getting dropped by chin and body shots, of course. So he is dropped a lot. Yes, he doesn't get knocked out, but he is dropped a lot. And especially, I know he was fighting like the hardest hitter ever with Wilder. He was always getting back up, and I appreciate that. And, I like Fury, but he gets dropped a lot. He was dropped by smaller men earlier in his career. So I'm going to have to, for chin resistance, be quite kind of cruel with his chin resistance, because I don't want it to be weak compared to a heavyweight, but it's not like, he's not got a granite chin in the terms of not getting dropped. Granite chin for me is like Canelo and Triple G, never dropped. I know Fury's not been knocked out, but he's been dropped a lot. So for chin resistance, I'm going to go with an 88. For body resistance, I mean, as top of my head, in his last, 10, 15 fights that I've watched, have I seen him get dropped for body shot off the top of my head? I don't think so. I don't think anyone's ever really attacked his body viciously. So for his body resistance, I'm going to go over 93. Then we go on to cut resistance and bruise resistance. Now we saw the nasty fucking cut he had. He's not been cut like that since, but still, it's still a possibility in his fights, and that was nasty as fuck. So for his cut resistance, I'm going to drop that down. And I know it's kind of basing it on just like one bad cut, but it was really bad though. So for his cut resistance, I'm going to put it at an 89. And bruise resistance, bruising's tough in boxing because you don't tend to see it until after the fight, unless like the orbital bone is broken or something. So for bruise resistance, we'll go with a 90, because we tend to see him quite bruised after the fights. And his blocker, now he does have a good guard, he really does, his guard is decent. He does fight with his hands down quite a bit and moves his head a lot, but definitely, definitely got a decent guard. So for his blocking, I'm going to put it at a 92. Now we go on to strength, where we have left hand, right hand power, jab, hook, uppercut, and straight modifiers, and KO power. Now, of course, Fury being a natural orthodox fighter, that will make his right hand more powerful and his left hand weaker. However, he's not one for insane barrages of heavy shots. He sets a lot of things up with lighter shots. Yes, he did fucking flatline Wilder. But, he's definitely increasing the power for sure in his recent training. And if we're taking into consideration recent fights, then, that power's got to be good. So for me, I'm going to put his left hand power at 87. And I'm going to put his right hand power at a 91. And then for jab modifier, hook modifier, uppercut, and straight modifiers, as I always say, guys, jab. What fighters drop people with jabs? People, I'm going to bring it up again. People said about the Muhammad Ali thing, where I done him a disservice because I didn't do his jab modifier. This is in the strength section. This has nothing to do with speed. This has nothing to do with accuracy. This is strength section. So it's power jab, power hook, power uppercut, power straight. That's the way to remember this section. I mean, Fury's a big guy, so anything he puts behind it is going to be powerful, and he can push a nasty jab out, but compared to his other shots, it's almost like nothing. So for me, for his jab modifier, I'm going to be kind of cruel here, and I'm going to put it at an 88. For his hook modifier, I mean, that knockout that he got on Wilder was at the cleanest hook if I've ever seen one. So for that, I'm going to put that to a 93, because his hooks and his uppercuts are getting fucking heavy. I'm going to also put his uppercut at a 93 as well. Was tempted by a 94, I won't lie, but I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with 93 for both of them. And then straight modifier, I mean, his straight is nice. Now, he was fucking snapping Wilder's head back. You know, he can throw it. He lands it. It's heavy as well. So I'm going to put that at a 90. And then KO power, having 22 KOs over 31 fights, especially if we're talking about recent Wilder, recent Fury, his last 2 fights with Wilder, he finished. Of course, he didn't finish Otto Wallin, I believe it was. But obviously, he finished that Tom Schwartz guy. And, you know, his last fight, he dropped Wilder quite a few times, as we saw. So, obviously, past Fury wasn't as hard as a hitter as, say, present Fury is. So, for me, for KO power, I'm going to go over 90 for Fury. And then we have heart, where it's the easiest category, really, because it's 3 sections. And that is discipline, courage, and confidence. Now, his confidence is unwavered. His courage is unwavered. Now, his discipline, I suppose people could argue, you know, with what happened with him with the drug abuse and stuff. But his discipline to get back in and train the way he does, that's going to be 399s for me. Now that we've done all that, guys, it's time to get the overall of each of these sections: vitality, stamina, speed, defense, strength, and heart, and find Fury's overall. Alright, guys, after some pretty fun math, I always enjoy doing this. I'm not sure why, kind of a bit of a number nerd, really. We have got Tyson Fury's overall, and we have got vitality at a 94, stamina at a 92, speed at a 90, defense at a 90, strength at a 90, and heart, of course, at a 99, which brings his total overall. So I believe currently right now one of the highest rated fighters we've done this for, and of course probably I think the highest rated heavyweight as well, at 93 overall. Now, do you guys agree or disagree? As always, I don't like to, I always will say, and I will hold my heart to this, no boxer in any boxing game should be 98 or 99, because that would mean they were literally perfect in every aspect of the game. Never being dropped, never being hurt, never missing, never being outstruck, never being outmoved, nothing like that. I don't believe in it. I think, you know, 95, 96 is the highest we'll ever get, and so far we have not had that. And we've even done Canelo, my favourite fighter, and we've not had that 95 yet. But what do you guys think of this? Do you guys, you know, do you think I should have changed it here? You know, up, down, where? Let me know in the comments down below. But thank you as always for watching. Please try and take consideration that I'm just one man that does this. You guys end up being between 700 and 3,000 people that watch it. So it's tough for me to get everybody's, you know, opinion. Obviously, in boxing is, you know, very opinionated sport, which is awesome. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.